Hi friends, my name is Akil Ahmed, and in this particular video I will show you how to migrate data from your on-premises SQL Server database to the Microsoft Azure using the SQL Database Migration Wizard. This is my portal.azure.com, and in the Azure I have SQL Server Learn SSIS. So if you open this particular logical server, then right now it has one database, MyDB, and which is empty right now. So if you want to check like whether it is really empty, so you just need to go to the properties of this particular server and then copy the server name from here. Open the SQL Server 2014 Management Studio, and okay, so the server name is already there, and this is my login name, and let me type my password as well. So we can connect to the Azure server from the Management Studio. So we have been connected to the Microsoft Azure server, and if you expand the databases, then you should find the MyDB database there, and you can expand the database as well, and then tables. So right now there are no tables here, the database is completely empty. So in this particular case, we will be copying the data from this test database to the Microsoft Azure database MyDB using the Microsoft SQL Database Migration Wizard. That is very easy and powerful tool. So on my local on-premises I have test database in the SQL Server 2016 server. So it has 3 tables names, which currently contains some of my old colleagues' name, and then I have table city, which contains some cities from the world, and then I have some test data as well that contains the first name, last name, and the gender and company name. So I have 3 tables, and I want to move data from these 3 tables to this particular database MyDB on the Azure along with the schema and data. So to do that, copy this particular URL from the notepad and then open it in any browser. So this is SQL Azure mw.corplex.com. So this is SQL Database Migration Wizard, and it's very light tool. It is less than of 1 MB, so you can simply click on download, and it should be downloaded to your local machine. So you can open this, and then if you go here, so it's around half MB, so you can extract the files to this particular folder. So I extracted the file binary to this particular folder, and to start the SQL Database Migration Wizard, you simply need to click on the SQL Azure mw.exe. So if you just right click and open it, so the GUI should be opened, and then so this is the GUI, very simple and straightforward. So from the target server, you just need to select the Azure SQL Database, and then under these options, analyze and migrate, we need to choose the database from these available radio buttons, and then click next. So now it's asking to the credentials of the local machine. So my local machine server name is Ahmed SQL 2016, and I will be using the Windows authentication in this particular case. And then the database, I want to move data from the test database, and then I can click on this save login information, then connect. So it has connected to the test database, so simply click next, and now it's saying script all database objects. Do you want to copy all database objects, or do you want to copy selected table? So I have 3 tables in this particular case, but still I will copy all the data from this particular database. So if you go to advanced here, so under the scripts table data, you need to make sure that it's selecting table schema with data. So you can copy schema only or data only as well. If we have tables already there, so you can select data only, and if you want to copy only the schema of the table, then you can select the table schema. However, in this particular case, I will be selecting the table schema with data, as my database doesn't have any tables inside it. So click OK, and then you can click next. So this showing the summary that source database name is test, and the objects those will be copying will be city name and test data. So simply click next, and it's saying ready to generate the SQL script. So now it's generating the SQL script that will be deployed to the Microsoft Azure. So it has generated some scripts bcp.exe. So let me just click next, and now it's asking to connect to the Microsoft Azure server. So just go to the azure.portal.azure.com, and then you can copy the server name from here, full server name, and then under the SQL Server authentication, our login name is SQL admin, and let me type my password as well. And under the specify database, if you go here, so if you go here, my database name is MyDB. So let me type the name MyDB, and then you can click connect. Azure requires learn SSIS extension or username. Do you want me to add? Yes. So it has connected to the MyDB database, and simply click next. Execute script against destination server. Yeah, please execute it. So now it's executing the script that was generated in the last step on the Microsoft Azure server. The time taken by this process is directly dependent on the size of your source database that you are copying to the Microsoft Azure. Alright, so the process has been completed and it has moved data. So if you look at this particular script, so you can see that it's creating some city table, and then it's creating names table, and then it's creating test data, and then later it's copying data to the Microsoft Azure. So it copied like 100 records, and then for city it copied 5 records. So it's quite simple. So if you go back to the learn SSIS Azure SQL Server, and if you refresh the tables under the MyDB, so now you can see that now it has 3 tables that I copied from my on-premises SQL database to the Azure. So you can create a new query and execute it on the Microsoft Azure database. So I'm going to execute a query on the Microsoft Azure tables. Select a star from city. So Azure database table has the data. This query has been run on the Microsoft Azure database, and let me execute query for names table as well. So this data is coming from the Azure. So let me verify the test data as well. So you can see that data has been successfully and very easily moved from our on-premises SQL Server to the Microsoft Azure platform. So thanks guys for watching the video, and if you like the video, then please click the like button and do subscribe to our channel to see more videos on SSIS and related technologies. Thank you so much.